Welcome to It All Boils Down to This, the podcast where father and son take the kitchen table arguments and heated discussions from their home directly to yours. Jim and Jack Boyle will explore the world as only they can. We might even let a few guests join the fun. So sit back, choose a side, watch the water temperature rise, and enjoy stimulating generational conversation about sports and life. All right, everyone, welcome. Episode 48. That's Core Discord, bringing It All Boils Down to This in our, like I said, episode 48. Jack, we're almost at 50, which is a lot of episodes. I don't think we've been doing it for a year yet.
I didn't do one, and you didn't do one, if you think about it.
That's true. That's true. You missed what I did the first one with Tommy.
No, I did a solo one as well, and you did one with Amanda.
Oh, I forgot about Amanda. We did that on home. All right, so episode 48. We're about at hit 50. A lot to go over today because it is NFL week, opening day tomorrow with the Chiefs playing the Ravens. But we're going to skip we're going to skip there for now. We'll go back to the NFL.
I'm not ready for the NFL. I'm not.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm college football in right now. We just got the first week started. So we'll talk about the NFL. That's the other thing about the NFL. Everyone goes nuts about it. I think the college football Saturdays, there are more better games on Saturday in the, at least in September, I think, than the NFL. The NFL sucks sometimes. It really does.
There's also like 350 games on Saturday. That's why.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, the quality of product college football, I think the NFL, like, the playoffs in the NFL, there's nothing like it. But the quality of the regular season NFL, I don't need to sit on my couch all day and watch football on Sunday. It doesn't. I can't do that. There's not enough talent. There's not enough good quarterback play. You see more stuff happen in college. You know what I mean? You see more touchdowns. You see more dumb plays too and turnovers and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm trash on the NFL. We'll get into it.
Okay. Let's start with college football. We do have our guest to pick our guest Kevin. Before we bring him in, just a real quick. The games I watched in week one, I saw Clemson get annihilated by Georgia. Dabo Swinney, your buddy, getting beat. We did watch Notre Dame Texas A&M, which I thought was a very good football game. Notre Dame was a little bit strong, made a little bit of plays at the end. And then our final game of the weekend that we watched, although we did watch some Penn State, was LSU-USC, which was a very interesting game. Brian Kelly not happy with his team's performance. Any other first impressions of the first week?
Well, Brian Kelly shouldn't be happy with his performance. I don't know if Kevin mentions this in the call, but like I said, I'm a Nebraska guy. I thought they looked 10 times better than I expected. The quarterback, Raiola, the true freshman, looked 10 times better than I expected. They play Colorado this Saturday. That's a big statement game for them. I think they kill them. I think they're a top 15 team in the country.
You think they're a top 15 team?
Yeah.
All right. So
in contention for the playoffs is what that means.
Home or away? Is that home or away?
It's at Nebraska.
Okay.
It's a must-win game for Nebraska. Honestly, it is.
It is.
You can't. I know it's only year 2 and all, but you can't lose that game. They have a better roster. They have the quarterback now. They have some weapons on the outside. You got to win that game.
Okay. And before we get to Kevin, the thing I'm surprised most is Notre Dame's schedule is like weak.
Yeah, so that's what everyone's saying is everyone already says now there's only 13 college football playoff teams because Notre Dame's in. They'd have to throw up on themselves to not be in. The committee will put them in. They have a big win on the road now, right?
I agree. I'm just saying that their schedule is, and they.
No, I know.
The funny part of their schedule, they play 2 real road games.
They're in, and Georgia's in.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
There's no way Georgia's losing 3 games. There's no way.
Well, again, we went over this last week. Georgia's not going to lose in 3 games. Ohio State's not losing 3 games. Penn State probably not going to lose 3 games.
Yeah, no, Penn State, and that's another good takeaway. Penn State, who is your lock, Aller looked great. I guess they have an offensive coordinator. Everything looked different. Because they were a good team last year without having a guy who could throw the ball more than 5 yards. So I wouldn't be surprised if Penn State made the playoff. No, Oregon looked like they struggled a bit.
Yeah, a lot of teams struggled early. I had written down that week 1 is always some of the marquee matchups. Week 2, you get some of the weaker matchups. There's only 2 matchups between top 25 teams, I think, this week. So it's hard to judge.
Colorado, Nebraska is that's the most probably attention matchup, just because everything Dion does anytime he plays a big game.
Well, I don't know that. I think the most attention matchup is Texas.
Texas, Michigan. I forgot that was on. No, so yeah, Texas, Michigan. That's next week though. We got to talk more about
next week. Saturday.
Yeah, that's next week.
Jack, Jimbo, great to be calling it.
Oh, I messed up. I totally messed up there. I was supposed to get Kevin. No. So,
okay.
No, we just got ahead of ourselves. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We got to keep talking about last week and Kevin, who was in Auburn.
Oh, yes, that's right. I remember that.
So he had his big experience at an SEC football game. So let's
Okay,
hear
we're
what he
going to
has
get
to
Kevin
say.
first. You're going to cut Kevin up in it. So
Yeah, he's got some stuff. I
Let's
didn't
cut
listen
him
to
in
this
and out.
call.
We'll talk what he talks. Go.
Jack, Jimbo, great to be calling in for week 2, but I just got to kick things off by addressing a few housekeeping things.
Housekeeping. If he talks about
Since
Judge,
a
I'm going
third
to kill
of
him.
this show's airtime is now being dedicated to tennis, I want to send my condolences to Jack in the Alcaraz Hive on his pathetic showing at the U.S. Open. He's partying in Ibiza earlier than expected. It is a lovely island, though, I will say. I'd
Kevin's a
also like
legend.
to shout out Oasis, my favorite band of all time, on reuniting after almost a 15-year hiatus. I got up at 3 a.m. to get in Ticketmaster queue this past Saturday morning, failed to get them, tried to get those tickets in Edinburgh. But I just want to say this, Liam and Noel, I love you guys, and please come to the States so I can see you either at Gillette or MetLife.
Hey, is John Mayer playing with Oasis or what?
Yeah, he'd go nuts. The Oasis thing. Well, he first off that Alcaraz that was
We're going to talk about that later.
No, we're not going to talk about it.
Yes,
but that
we
was
are.
a fair.
We're going later.
That
We're
was a
going
fair shot.
later.
Oasis. They're two guys. They're huge Man City fans.
Oh, that's why he likes them.
They're almost like you, where they spent like they're probably around the same age as you, maybe a bit younger. Where they spent a big part of their life where they were being tormented by the team they hated most.
Man,
so like they in the '90s when they were blown and all that, they were made miserable by Alex Ferguson, Man United, and they're basking in the success now. But it's all fake. They're like you with the Yankees and all that.
So the funny part is he ripped on you. He haven't said anything about my Aaron Judge comment. He said, "I wonder if that's coming." Okay, go with Kevin next.
And I want to wish both of you, Jack and Jimbo, the best of luck in fantasy baseball playoffs. I'm currently in a battle for the ages with Auto Draft again right now. His pitching staff is unbelievable. But I just want to give myself credit here. My gambles on my youngsters, namely Jackson Chorio, I can't even pronounce his name, and Jackson Merrill have paid extreme dividends for me this season. Hit, Aaron, hit. I love Aaron Judge so much.
I hate Aaron Judge.
Yankee.
You know it.
Jack wants an Auburn recap. I'll just say this. Overall, a beautiful, eye-opening experience. We did it all. We hit the local burger, fried chicken, lemonade spots, watched a volleyball game at the basketball arena, walked around campus, tailgated all day starting at like 11 a.m. I high-fived Hugh Freeze and Peyton Thorne, their quarterback, during Tiger Walk. After the game, threw some toilet paper on the trees that weren't poisoned by that Alabama fan a few years ago and partied at Sky Bar after. Just a lovely establishment. Special thanks to my college roommate, Josh, but also to Star, Derek, Carter, Rick, and the other locals at Auburn for their great hospitality, inviting us to the tailgate all day, taking us to Lake Martin on Sunday with a almost Greco family-esque manner of inviting us in, taking us out to the lake and the beach, having a great time.
Good for you.
We actually saw Gus Malzahn and Bruce Pearl's lake houses, which were ridiculous. In terms of the game, incredible atmosphere, way better than any other football game I've ever been to. Auburn crushed them, though. Annihilated them, won by like 70. I think it was a record for the school.
My favorite.
In terms of college football, moving on to that.
Can I just give my favorite thing about that is he says he did all the fun stuff. And he starts off, and got the lemonade, so whatever that means. And then he partied or tailgated from 12 o'clock to the game at 8 o'clock. He must have been hammered.
My favorite thing is he talks about Bruce Pearl's lake house. If you go on Bruce Pearl's Twitter, we're not going to elaborate on this. If you go on his Twitter, you would think the world's on fire the way he tweets about like the planet. So Bruce Pearl having a huge lake house, good for him.
And he didn't see Tommy Tuberville.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. All right,
he's got a lake house somewhere else.
Here we go with
He's got multiple
is he
lake
going to
houses.
hopefully start talking about last week?
Yeah.
Go, Kev.
With my record last week. Went over 500, hot start to the year, but did lose my lock. I'll never bet on Dion in Colorado ever again. That was stupid of me. Their defensive coordinator was just stupid in the first half. And that interception in the red zone, I can only describe that as an act from God. I've never seen that in my life. But just to all the listeners out there, as a reminder for everyone about the Joe Trevisani Award, I did go 8-2 last year on locks, and I'm not getting any credit for it. It's not being counted as a real year, even though I went 8-2.
I did really good with my. I'm sorry to talk over you, Kevin.
61, 57, and 3. You shouldn't have mentioned that. That's like, I guess you're over 500, but that's not. I guess you know what, that is a brag going over 500.
You know what?
That's how stupid gambling
is. This is all about Kevin Bragg. How good he did last year. Jackson Merrill in fantasy baseball. How he's in a tough matchup. How I'm going to kick his ass. And you're going to kiss it. Don't matter. So God bless you, Kevin. You're 0-1 to start the season on lock. You're not getting a bat against me. me. I got Chris's pick for, by the way.
He
correct.
recorded this he came home during lunch at work today. He went back to his apartment and recorded this.
He's the best. I love Kevin.
Over 500. So please keep in mind when
We will.
when you're picking games, listen to me.
No.
In terms of big takeaways last week, my Cam Ward Heisman pick and Miami winning the ACC pick looks very good. FSU is a
I meant to
laughing
talk about
stock.
that too, yeah.
Jesus Christ. And then Clemson got absolutely cooked. Their program might be over unless Dabo tries to go in the transfer portal, which he doesn't want to do. So
I got stuff
he
to say
just
about
looks
that
like a
if we
big
get a
dumb
chance.
idiot.
One sec. You just go, if we get a chance. What do you mean, if we get a chance?
Well, he's yakking away.
No,
So
just
Clemson-
let us hear all the stuff. You're writing this down. We'll go through it after.
Okay.
If we get the chance.
Well,
What does
I
that
want to
mean?
talk
It's
about
our
it right
podcast.
now. I want to talk about it right now. Okay, let's listen to
WCTV won't let us talk about that.
I won't let you go. So Clemson.
All right.
USC
Clemson
LSU
transfer
game.
portal.
USC looks to have some sort of defensive identity, and Lincoln Riley once again has another good quarterback. I'm interested to see how LSU goes forward this year. Brian Kelly seems pissed off at his team, especially with that post-game press conference, which was just hilarious. The other big game was Notre Dame. Just a huge win, probably their biggest win on the road in years. They're almost a lock for the playoff now, just given the way their schedule plays out. Wegman, the quarterback from A&M, I mean, he is horrible. Like Mike Elko, his first year in Aggieland, good luck with that guy being your quarterback. That is
Like a
horrible.
5-star recruit.
It's
too.
like
In terms of the
Deion.
week coming up, Texas-Michigan's the big game. You'd think Texas would win, just the continuity with Ewers and co. Against Michigan, which basically lost their team and their coach. But the Big House is a different animal. Other than that, Tennessee-NC State is the other big game, the only ranked versus ranked game other than Texas and Michigan. One of my favorites, Tennessee quarterback Nico Imaleva. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but
Everyone
I love
loves
him.
him. Loves
it'll be
him.
interesting to see
Everyone.
how he plays in his first real
I like
test
DJ.
of the year. In terms-
Ugalele.
Ooh, I hit the wrong button.
I walk.
Sorry.
I'm struggling.
I have Iowa -2.5 at home against Iowa State. We're getting in the trenches this week. We're getting our hands dirty. This is an ugly game. I picked the special all eyes on the prize game last week with Colorado. I'm not doing that. I'm picking a 3:30 game that's going to be it's just going to be a battle all the way through. I'm going to have to watch this on my phone. This is going to be crazy to say. I'm going to be going on a party bus to and from Hartford on Saturday to go to a Hartford Goats game, Yard Goats.
What is wrong with you?
I got invited to this. Basically, it's just going to be a party bus there and back. And I don't know, some people I know own the team or something like that. So it'll be a great time at the Hartford Yard Goats. Go Yard Goats.
I know Robert Kraft.
But I'm going to have to find a way to watch this game.
He knows.
All right. First up,
he
so
knows,
he's
first of all,
one
he
sec,
knows
one
the
sec.
head goat. He knows the head goat.
We have
Go.
to do something real quick before we talk about the games he went over. I would like to just say this. This will be his second straight college football Saturday missed out of 2 of them this year.
What a
he's
college
missed
guy
both
is.
of them to start, talking all this big
Trash
game about
talking.
how big of a college fan he is. I get it. The owner's party bus fun and all. I'm banning Kevin for a week from this show.
Oh, I don't think we'll do that. Let's let him slide.
He's not calling in next week.
No,
He's getting a 1 week
calling in.
ban for missing 2 weeks.
I miss him calling in.
He shouldn't have said that.
I love Kevin's call, but you know what? The Yard Goats are important. It's like triple A baseball.
What sport is that?
Baseball.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like lacrosse. That sounds like a lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
Game. Doesn't it? The Yard. I honestly thought that was lacrosse. All right. You know what? It being baseball makes it a bit better. I thought it was lacrosse.
Okay, so we're gonna let Kevin. You get to call back in.
If that was lacrosse, he'd be banned for the season.
Yeah, he would. And I got Chris Greco. I got Chris Greco's
Oh, what's
pick
his
today.
pick? I was going to ask Jay Trev.
I
But I
Greco.
thought probably not a good idea to have Jay Trev.
No,
making
he can't
picks.
do this.
Yeah.
No. Get Jay
That's
Trev.
what I was thinking.
No, we don't need that. We have enough problems with Kevin picking and going
No, we
drinking
don't.
all day against
Oh, my
Auburn.
goodness.
All right, so what do you got? Why don't you give me a quick follow up
Party
on
bus.
what he said? And
What games did he go over? Yeah, before we do our lunch.
He did
give like
Deion, PSU, Penn State.
Okay, I'll
and
give like
Nebraska, Miami, FSU, Clemson.
I'll give like a 20-second take on each game. What's the first one?
Deion game.
His son, the quarterback, very good player. Honestly, he is. Just gotta stay a little bit, calm down at sometimes, and not talk all this. I'm Tom Brady. Like, just relax a little bit.
I'm
but
the
he's
black
a
guy.
very good player. Travis Hunter, very good player. The Shiloh Sanders kid stinks. That defense stinks. They're not a very good team. They'll be lucky to make a bowl game.
My
Depending on their
my
schedule.
impression of that is offensive line's horrible. Sanders is a great quarterback. He's going to get killed. but they're going to struggle.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
going to struggle.
but that was how impressive he was. Is he
Yes,
was under
yes.
pressure making those throws.
Yes.
That was what Dylan Raiola was doing in the Nebraska game. If you see
Right.
his biggest throw in that game, he got hit in the face and put a 40-yard dime right in the
Right.
guy's hands.
The next game he talked about was the Miami being his pick. And
Didn't
Cam
see
Ward.
a lot, but I had that as my lock, and I would have went 2-0 on locks if I could have done both of those because Miami just smoked them. Florida's embarrassing.
That's a
Billy
question I
Napier's
have.
embarrassing.
Yes.
I saw Nick Saban made a comment about like both of those guys were his assistant coach, and like it's one of them knows how to win football games. It was something where it was like he did kind of trash on Billy Napier, but it was funny.
I think Florida's in big trouble right now. Both Florida teams, Florida State, which he mentions next. Florida State losing to BC. God Almighty, Bill O'Brien's got an opportunity to have at least win 6, make a bowl
BC
game.
football better
You know?
than the Pats. Better than the Pats.
And isn't that funny that he came from Ohio State as their high-paid offensive coordinator, replaced by Chip Kelly, who was once a head coach at UCLA.
Both NFL head coaches, by the way.
I know, it's amazing.
Both NFL head coaches, offensive coordinators at Ohio State.
We know where the money is. Ohio State's got all the money. The other one, and I do want to talk about this, is Clemson, who we said earlier in the show looked absolutely horrible. He made fun of Debo because of the transfer portal and everything, but just I want to hear your take. I'll give my final take on him, and then we'll go on to picks.
Halfway through last year, I turned on Clemson. I became a Clemson guy. They started winning me some locks. I like the absurdness of Dabo. Clemson, everyone's overreacting. Clemson, they played Georgia. They're the best team in college football. They've lost, twice the past 3 years, both of them to Alabama with Nick Saban. So, nobody beats Georgia.
Yeah,
But Clemson will be fine. They still might win the ACC. They still have a
Right.
decent chance of winning the ACC.
Right.
They just win their games in front of them. They'll be fine. They may make the college football playoff. But again, that being said, are they going to beat Georgia? Are they really? Or can you
They're
say
never
they're a
gonna beat
contender?
Georgia.
How many teams though can you say are contenders?
I think right
2
now,
and
I would
then
say
1
right
on
now,
the fringe?
I think there's 4 right now. I haven't seen everybody play. I think there are 2 that are totally dominant.
You say the 4 though. They're Ohio
Okay,
State
you ready?
and
Ohio
who?
State,
Georgia.
Texas, Georgia, right?
Next.
And then I don't know. But
Okay.
there's a
Do you
4th.
really think Texas could
Yes.
stay on the field
Yes.
with Georgia?
Yes, I do. I really do.
Okay.
Their offense is good enough to stay on the field.
That takes us into locks.
Before we go to locks, I want to talk about Clemson. You can't jump me the locks.
Oh, I
Let
didn't
me
know
talk
you-
about Dabo.
Dabo-
I wrote down Dabo. One thing about Dabo that listen, I don't like the guy. I don't like this. The Lord's bringing me here and all that crap he gives us. And I understand he doesn't want to do transfer portal. I understand he wants to build his team. Now he's going to benefit next year when they change. All the rules are changing. You can only have so many players on your roster anyway. So you can't have 100. You can't have any more than 105 guys. Walk-ons, if 85 scholarship, no more. They're going to cap the limits that you can spend with how many people can be on your roster. So maybe it'll turn back in his way. But you know what? You got to either grow in the NIL and transfer world or leave, and that's what Saban did. He said, "I'm not dealing with this shit." And Jim Harbaugh did the same thing. Dabo's going to have to make that decision on his own. I don't think they even win the ACC. And Miami's going to win the ACC. Miami might be a team that can compete as well. I just want to say that about Dabo. I'm
rooting for Dabo.
I'm not a big Dabo guy. You might be a big Dabo guy. I'm not.
See, when people like Dabo, I hated him. Now everyone hates Dabo, and it's like it just feels cheap hating on him.
Yeah, the other thing I just wanted to bring up, the Big Ten and the SEC are just completely dominant conferences. And I think like you and I probably think the same way. Ohio State and Georgia are right now way above everyone else.
Well, the
right?
way it is with Dabo, is if he has 1,000 haters and 1 supporter, I'm the 1 supporter.
Okay, good.
But if he has
Good. I'm
if he
glad
has
you're the one
1,000
supporter.
if he has a 1,000 supporters and 1 hater, I'm the 1 hater, like it used to be.
Okay, good. So we got Dabo our system.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, first of all, I'm back to the 2 conferences, 2 of the major conferences, Big Ten and the SEC. We're got a Big Ten SEC matchup this weekend coming up with Texas playing Michigan. Kevin had brought that up. I think the SEC is a little bit stronger up and down with all their teams that they have.
Nebraska.
Bringing in get out of here with Nebraska. I'm sick of Nebraska. I love Matt Rule and everything, but I'm sick of Nebraska. I'm sick of them.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah,
all right, so
you're not going to be wait till you see him this weekend. Whew.
okay, so last
I gotta get the kid's name. They got this defensive end. I'm telling you, he is the biggest guy I've ever seen. Ever. He's quick. He is the biggest football player of all time. 100%.
All right.
Like tall.
So recap
It's like Aaron Judge.
Last week's picks. I picked Oklahoma to cover the spread. I didn't. They kicked ass. Temple's ass. I had Penn State to cover. I think they were 13.5. They covered. You had picked Nebraska to cover.
You know what? I should
they
be
covered
3-0 on
and-
locks because
No,
I think
no, you can't
you know
keep
why?
adding locks.
Because Graham Smith randomly texted me like Thursday night. I haven't texted him forever. He texted me. do you think Temple covers? And I texted him, no chance.
Yeah,
so
I no
that's
chance.
3 wins for me.
Do you think Graham bet that?
He should have.
Yeah, it's funny as heck. Graham, if you're watching, you should call me for if you're listening and watching, call me for Temple updates. I'll tell you what the hell's going on there.
I'm 1-0.
So Jack, you're 1-0.
Well, yeah. Well, because I did pick Nebraska. They covered like a 28
I'm 1-0
point
because
spread.
Penn State won, and Kevin's on 1. New player in the game. So Kevin has got Iowa minus 2.5 against Iowa State.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Is the coach back? The coach is back.
Yeah,
from
the coach is back,
suspension,
so they won't even score any points. Right?
Yeah,
Kevin's got that.
That's actually bad for him.
Mr. Greco, Chris Greco is. I got a hold of him today because we were.
UMass was like 18-point underdogs,
and
that
they're
better
not
be it.
favored either. He is going to go Nebraska. He said Nebraska under 58.5. So that's Chris's pick. Nebraska.
That's
under
58. That's a Matty Rule pick right there. That's I know Matt Rule, but the way that I see Colorado's defense playing and the way that Shador throws that thing, I really like the over in that game.
Okay.
I think they're gonna have to score to beat them.
Right.
I think Raiola, they're gonna let him go like he was, and I mean Nebraska would have scored 70 points if they wanted to in that game if they left their starters in. So I think that game goes over. We'll see. I disagree with Chris on that pick.
And on disagree with Chris. What about Iowa State? What do you think of that one? Do you don't care?
Dude, I'd rather watch corn grow than that.
Well, that's what they're going to do.
I know, that's what I'm
versus
saying.
Hawkeyes,
I would rather watch corn grow than that game.
All right.
What's your pick?
You don't give me yours yet.
Okay, I'll go my pick. So I was thinking,
Because I have the camera on you.
and I'm thinking, and it's like, do I really want to watch like a game I really care about, or do I want to watch Texas and Michigan, and do I want to be invested in Texas and Michigan? So there were two things that I liked about the Texas and Michigan lines. I liked I saw it was a 7.5 point spread at the Big House. Giving Michigan more than a touchdown, it's hard to not take that. I think Texas is a better team, but it's hard to not take that. But I'm not going to go with it. I'm going to take the over 42.5. I'm going to take the over Texas, Michigan at the Big House over 42.5. Last year when they played Ohio State with Michigan having a better defense at the Big House, they scored 57 points, and this Texas team is better than that Ohio State team. So I think they'll go over 42.5 in that game.
All right, that's good. I have two games I was looking at. I was looking at Texas, Michigan, and I believe that Michigan sucks, and I hate them so much.
So you like Texas?
I would like Texas.
I think 7.5 points,
but
and
I also,
defending champions 100,000 in the house is
the other
too
two
much.
games that I looked at, Tennessee at NC State. I like Tennessee a lot in that game. They're -8. The other game that I probably should go with is Duke is playing Northwestern at Northwestern, where they built a temporary stadium on Lake Michigan. It looks so cool, but I can't go there. So my choice is going to be taking Tennessee and giving 8, or taking Texas and giving 7.5.
Take Texas.
And I'm going to take.
If you take Texas, I'll take Michigan. I'll change from the
No,
over
no.
to
I'm
Michigan.
going to go with Tennessee -8.
That's real good drama.
I don't know. You picked that other game.
No, I know, but I'm saying I will change from over 42.5.
Why are we keeping that's stupid?
That way what do you mean that's stupid?
Stupid.
Whatever, fine. You don't want to do it. Fine.
Stupid. Okay, I'll take
Kevin would have done it.
Okay, Kevin doesn't. Okay, so I will take Tennessee -8.
Yeah, okay.
You're just a pain in my ass sometimes.
And I'm Texas, Michigan over 42.
You have Texas, Michigan over, and you think Michigan will cover? Or Texas won't cover. Michigan will take
I really don't care. I don't think enough that they won't cover. It's just the thing, 7.5 points at Michigan, the defending national champions, 100,000 people, like a big game against an SEC team. It's going to be hard to beat them by more than a touchdown.
Okay, that's
hard
fair.
to beat them
Okay,
in
I'm going to
general.
throw a couple games at you real quick, see how smart you are. Houston at Oklahoma.
Oh, boy.
Oklahoma is -29.5. You got...
I didn't think Oklahoma was that good, so I'll go Houston.
Okay, and you have the other game that just stuck out. Western Michigan at Ohio State. Western Michigan, the MAC, -38, Ohio State. I think Ohio State covers.
Yeah, probably. I don't.
And then finally, we have to go to my favorite game of the week. Temple's at Navy.
I looked at
Temple
this.
at Navy, -12.5,
Yeah.
over under 41. What do you got?
I looked at that. I was thinking about nothing there. Nothing I like there.
Nothing?
No, now that I think about it, I didn't like anything.
It's
that
not,
could easily
it's
go
not
under.
my lock. It's not my lock, but I'm going with Temple. I'm taking Temple.
If Temple turns the ball over, that goes over. If Temple doesn't turn the ball over, that goes under.
The thing about
Temple probably doesn't
Navy
cover.
is they're going to play that game, but I'm going to take Temple just because I got a roof.
Oklahoma, by the way, they went like 1 for 12 on third down, and they were like 0 for 11 on third down.
Yeah, but they were 6 or 6 like on fourth.
Okay,
down.
cool. It was the most lopsided 51, or it was the most.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say it. It was the most unbalanced. Like it wasn't. It was the score didn't.
point lead.
It wasn't. Yes, they
Right.
won
I agree with
51-3,
I agree with
and they weren't even that good.
All right, so I'm going
That's what
to
I'm trying to say.
recap the picks. We got Kevin, Iowa -2.5 at Iowa State. Chris, Nebraska with the under of 58.5. Hopefully, Chris, I got that right. I got to look at my texting just to make sure. Jack's got Michigan over 42.5, and I got Tennessee -8 at North Carolina State. So there we go. College football wrapped up. We'll get ready for next week. Now our favorite subject is the NFL. I just want to know that we're kicking off. Kansas City plays Baltimore, and the Eagles. Who are the Eagles playing down in Brazil? I forget they were playing.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, down in Brazil. They were making Brazil out to be like
a hellhole.
Yeah.
Like a hellhole.
Yeah. It's not that bad. It can't be.
Well, it can.
Remember, Anthony was rainbowing the drug dealers in the favela.
He was.
It's one of the funniest quotes all time from Anthony. I used to Elastico the
they
drug
got Green
dealers.
Bay. They got
Rainbow the robbers.
So they have Green Bay. So those are two opening day games. I just really Kansas City versus the Fields. I think it's really funny. I looked at the Kansas City.
Well, if that's the question, I'd take the field.
Okay, but Kansas City versus the Fields. Kansas City versus their division. Listen, if this isn't made for Mahomes to win 3 in a row, I don't know. Kansas City's got the Broncos, who are a new quarterback. They got the Chargers, who absolutely have garbage, and then Harbaugh trying to turn around. And they got the Raiders, who don't got a quarterback. Who are the Raiders?
I don't think their division's as bad as you're making it out to be.
I think it's bad.
The division's never been an issue. Like, they win the division every year. Yeah, they're going to do it again. They'll go 5-1 in the division and whatever.
Okay, so your prediction for Kansas City's division is
I
they're
think
going to win the
they'll be
division.
better. They'll be better this year than they were last year.
So I got the Chiefs as well. I don't think any of the other three teams make the playoffs.
Are they suspended?
No,
is the NFL suspending Rice? They have to, right?
I have not seen
I keep
it.
seeing them personal conduct suspensions by the NFL for players. How would he not get suspended? So if he doesn't get suspended, I mean, geez.
I haven't seen it. So we both like the Chiefs. How about in the NFC East? How do you got the Dolphins, Jets, Pats, Bills? Who do you like?
That's the AFC.
AFC, I'm sorry.
I like the Cowboys.
Cowboys are in the AFC.
Yeah, I know you said NFC East. I like what'd you say? The Bills. I'll take the Bills still. It's Josh Allen. I think it's the second best quarterback in the league. Always stays healthy. He'll probably get hurt now that I said that, but I'll take them. No way.
I'm going to go with the Bills and the Jets sneak into the playoffs over the Dolphins because they got the greatest quarterback of all time they have. NFC North, we got the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns, and the Bengals. Who do you like there?
You know what's funny? He could have been the vice president. He'd still be around to play football right now.
No, he wouldn't be the vice president.
No, I know.
He could have. All right.
That's my point.
You're right.
All right. Well, yeah.
You're right. He could have been
I was too quick for you there.
He could have been the vice president. Whatever. Enough of that. Okay, what do we got? Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bengals.
Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bengals. I'll go the Bengals. I think Burrow stays healthy this year.
And I'm going to go with the Ravens, and that's it. Then the most intriguing division of all time, maybe the crappiest other than the West. Titans, Colts, Texans, and Jaguars. Titans, Colts, Texans, and Jaguars.
Bounce back year for the Jags. They had a disaster last year. Bounce back year, and the Texans do what the Jaguars did last year.
I say the Jaguars come close, but who knows? I'm going to go with the Texans. I know they're going to regress, but I like the Texans. NFC East, Eagles, Cowboys. Giants and Commanders.
Cowboys.
The Cowboys?
Yeah, the Eagles coach, come on.
Well, the Cowboys coach.
That's a good point, but
McCarthy.
That's how bad the Eagles coach is. It's like the first thing I can think of in the NFL right now is that Eagles coach.
I agree.
Bawling his eyes out during the national anthem.
I agree with you with the Eagles.
His quarterback telling him to calm down during the Super Bowl on the sideline.
I think the Cowboys win the division.
He's a horror show.
Now this might be the most competitive division we got going.
Too.
The Packers, the Bears, the Vikings, and the Lions. Except for the Vikings, some pretty good quarterbacks play in that league. Who do you like?
Everyone loves the Packers. I like the Bears.
You like the Bears?
Not really, but I don't like Jordan Love, and everyone loves him.
I'm going to go with the Lions. I like the Lions.
I like Caleb.
Campbell.
Oh, the Lions.
Campbell, who could have won the should have been in the Super Bowl. The Lions have never made the Super Bowl. He should have made the Super Bowl, but he didn't. I like the Lions. I think that my sleeper team in the NFC is the Bears because the quarterback. I think there's something can happen.
I don't know about the rest of their roster, though. Their coach, I don't know if
that's true. Their coaches, but their defensive coach there that we all know from Everett might be good. You never know. NFC South: Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Panthers.
Yuck, and yuck.
I think it's a battle of the yuckies.
Dude, that division sucks.
You're right. It's bad. It's bad. Saints are on their way down. Falcons are on their way.
I'll go the Falcons. They have some talent there.
I'm going to go with the Falcons, but I like the Bucks coming up in the rear. Bucks probably going to beat them.
Bucks won the division, though, so again, they get the harder schedule, right?
Correct. That's true. Seahawks, Rams, 49ers, and Cards.
Niners, they're just good. They have a good coach. Trent Williams signed. They got Ayuk back. Like, they'll be all right. See, the guy got shot, and Trent Williams, after he got shot, I was like, all right, I got to come back.
I saw that.
All right.
So you like that? I'm going to go with the Rams there just to be contrarian because something weird's going to happen anyway, if you know what I mean. So that's what we got. Then we'll that's good just to go over. We'll get the predictions for as we go on the year. After first week, we'll talk about it. Just give me a 1-minute synopsis on your outlook on Drake and the Patriots.
Well, he's not starting, so who cares? They're going to suck. They don't have that much talent. Their past couple drafts have been poor, besides a couple picks, but like the overall depth of them isn't poor. They got Judon's gone. They just don't have talent. They're going to suck. They're going to be horrible to watch. I don't even have there's not even a minute to say about them.
So that's good. You gave me 30 seconds. It's better than you give me like Manchester United shit. I like that.
It could be.
I think
we could do a whole show on that.
We're not though. We'll do that when we get all the soccer guys in here. My take
no, because then I don't want to talk about it because it just sucks.
My take on the Patriots is very simple. It's very simple. The roster's terrible. They bring a new coach in with a terrible roster, a terrible offensive line, making the right choice by starting Brissett. When he gets hurt, the Drake comes in. I think they'll be lucky to win 4 games this year. I'd go the over-under. That's what they want.
I know.
Last
You
year
said
with
that.
Belichick.
I laughed at that last week.
I
It's
said
just,
that.
again, every time I hear the word
they're not
4,
that good. And so they got another high pick next year. They had better hope.
That's like you're the Bills.
They had better hope that the Drake is what they think he is. He's not Mac because they fired the best coach ever. And they're going to suck for a couple years.
The best coach ever is in love with himself, by the way.
I know. Yes.
He joined Instagram today.
He did?
Yeah, he's all over.
Joe
he's on
Mazzulla's
every
on
show.
Instagram?
What?
I'm kidding.
Oh, my God. He's taking shots at Joe Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla's No, I think...
You think Joe Mazzulla's in love with himself? You
I
think
know
Joe
Mazzulla's
Mazzulla's
Joe Mazzulla is definitely in love with himself.
That's one of the craziest
He
things.
is like in love with himself. I am Mr. Joe Mazzulla. I got all these fun things I do.
No.
Okay.
No, yeah, that's one of the worst examples to pick for a person like that. Joe Mazzulla is so much about others that he punishes himself.
All right, well, stop on Joe Mazzulla.
When they play back-to-backs, he does extra hard jiu-jitsu trainings and what they do so he can feel the pain the players are going through.
Know what?
Don't give me that he's all about himself like Bill Belichick is right now. He's Mr. Me, not Joe Mazzulla.
And if he coached the Patriots, they'd still
We're taking shots at Joe Mazzulla. Just won the championship.
All right, next.
Patriots going to win 4 games. You're taking shots at Joe Mazzulla?
4.5.
Joe Mazzulla.
Mazzulla. All right, next. Patriots, we talked about them. I think the fan, I want to see.
That was unprovoked.
I want to really, I know.
Aaron Judge and Joe Mazzulla have taken unprovoked shots on this
Aaron
podcast.
Judge did not take unprovoked
Yes,
shots.
he did.
He took out, I'm going to give Aaron Judge a shot every.
I can't believe Joe Mazzulla.
Amanda put that on TikTok and people are trashing me. What are you talking about? He's not doing drugs. Of course he's doing, they're all doing drugs. Old man yells at cloud.
Old man yells at Aaron Judge.
I hate Aaron Judge. Anybody with the name Aaron, first name of Aaron, I don't like.
Okay.
Aaron Judge, Aaron Rodgers, they're all phonies. All right, I'm not going to put that on Instagram.
Aaron McKee.
Oh, I love Aaron McKee. Yeah, that's different. He's a different color. I love the black Aarons, not the white Aaron. U.S. Open tennis. U.S. Open tennis. Kevin racked you about the Alcaraz is on the beach somewhere in Spain, Iberia, wherever he said. Just the 2 Americans. One American's actually going to make the final, the men, which is good. Thought process on.
No, I mean Djokovic lost.
You are the
and
expert.
Alcaraz
You
lost.
are.
No,
you
what do
are
you mean?
a tennis
I'm the expert. The steroid guy is going to win center. It sucks. I hope one of the Americans wins. I'm rooting very hard for one of the Americans to win, but it's not going to happen. Sinner's going to win. He's going to have 2 Grand Slams this year. Alcaraz is going to have 2 Grand Slams in the year. That's the price that Alcaraz paid for, you know what, having some pride about his country and not being a phony like Sinner was and faking an injury and going and hanging out with his girlfriend on like Lake Como. So, you know what? We went to the Olympics. We put ourselves through a lot of struggles, like Djokovic did as well. And you know what? Sinner's going to win. I'm upset. Yeah,
I agree.
He was horrible. He since the last Olympic match, he went 1-2, lost to 2 bums, 2 scrubs.
Okay, so we hope the Americans win. American man hasn't won for a while, so it'll be
Andy
nice
Roddick in like 2002, 2003.
A long time ago. Scotty Scheffler, I just want to mention because you think I don't like him. I think he's a great golfer. I just don't think he's Tiger Woods.
You hate Scotty Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler wins bigly.
I don't think he's Tiger Woods-esque either, but you always say he's never going to win. He wins every tournament. And then you're just talking all this trash. Never going to win. Xander's better. Blah, blah, blah. You don't like him.
I like Xander.
Just admit it. You don't like Scotty
Scheffler. I like Scheffler more than I like John Rahm and all those other crap.
Did you
guys.
see their plan? Koepka and Bryson are playing Rory and Scheffler in a match.
Oh, that'll be good. That'll make some money.
Yeah,
not like the live guys.
They'll probably do a 12-hole
Live-
match. It won't be a real thing.
Live is like
If they wanna- if
nobody
they
even
wanna
knows
be-
that live exists anymore.
If they want to actually do one of these things for real, it's why no one has figured this out yet. You have to walk with your caddy and play it like it's a real match.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't have cameras in every cart. And I know it's made for TV, but if you want to actually have this be a serious thing and like
Yeah,
PGA
it's not
versus
gonna
Live, they have to walk and they have to be serious.
That's
about
not going to happen.
They do.
It's all about the money, Jack. Just have money and have fun.
That's,
And try
that's
to
fine
promote
and all,
the
then
game.
I don't care.
Try to
Then I
promote
don't
Who
care.
is it? Who's playing? Koepka?
Scheffler and Rory versus Koepka and Bryson.
That'll be fun. I'll watch so I can boo Bryson.
Those are
And
three
Koepka.
three big I love myself guys and Scotty
Huge.
and then Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, that's true.
Who seems like
That's
just
true.
a natural guy.
Next, I just note on Caitlin Clark how she's elevated the WNBA, and I wish we had some the Barkley comments on it. He said, "Why are you trying to kill the golden goose? These people don't understand." When Tiger Woods came on in the late '90s,
This is the point.
Same thing. They trashed him, right? And he all of a sudden you make a ton more money.
Look
And
at
now-
what Scheffler just made this year.
I know. I know. What's your take?
I was watching one of the games and it was one of the I don't know her name. She was the color commentator and she was talking about it's like everyone's upset with Caitlin Clark. It's like she's going to make a lot of female basketball players millionaires.
Yep.
She's going that they never were able to become millionaires off playing women's basketball before.
Yeah.
She is going to make a lot of players millionaires because of what she's done. I
I
watch
agree with
when
you.
she's on. John, I put the games on. I watch her play. She's great to watch play. Her style of play is it's fun to watch,
And I
it's
think
unique
that
to the sport.
right? And I think one of the things that we watched Dallas. Remember that game when there was the local Dallas announcers calling the game?
It's a good Dallas
She
team.
made a pass from 3/4 court, bounce pass right on the dime right at her. Girl made the layup. The thing I noticed about the game though, as I watch, they're not the greatest inside players that ever lived. That's where they struggle. They struggle in the low block. That's why I think she'll
They
help
shoot
to
the
change
ball
the
so
game.
good though. Like they make
Yeah.
so many jump
Yeah.
shots. Like they make jump shots
Yes.
at like an NBA rate. It
Yes.
almost feels like.
Yeah.
But that's because they're playing below the rim.
Right. The low block
that's
is
the
right.
NBA players would suck too if they were 5 inches shorter. They just dunk everything.
I think that's one of the
It's
reasons
unfair.
Asia Wilson is so good.
You know, she's dating Bam Adebayo, I think.
She is?
Yeah, that's what I saw
Wow.
it today.
Oh,
Yeah.
go Bam. Aja,
But
Bam.
yeah, she's
that
huge.
kid.
She-
They have
she can't
babies.
dunk, though.
They have babies. That's going to be big.
Yeah.
But one of the girls can dunk who just got arrested for
Brittany
something.
Griner, but that was like
Not
10
Brittany
years
Griner.
ago. Oh, I don't know.
All right.
But they can't dominate.
You're right,
No
you're
one's
right.
getting a putback dunk in this
You're
sport.
right. And
Like,
I think with Caitlin Clark's the best thing to have in women's basketball.
it's a lot easier to make like a 5-foot hook shot when you're shooting it, basically
Correct.
releasing it from 11 feet in the air when they jump
And
versus
it's coming down.
9 feet in the air.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
You have to throw it up and
Good
in, yeah.
WNBA talk. The W, I think they call it, right?
I wouldn't know. I've never played above the rim. And actually, the 8-foot hoop when you put it on 8 feet.
Yeah.
I was above the rim.
Yeah, I've never
mini
played.
hoop back when
I
I
don't
was a
think
kid.
anybody we know has played above the rim. That's all. Final two more things.
Connor
before
Bennett,
two
Mason
more-
Vega.
Maybe
Don't
two
really
more
know
things.
them.
Two more things before we close. Ohtani versus Judge. Where do you stand?
Judge is having a better year. But
Oh,
Ohtani,
get the hell out of here!
Yeah, Judge. Obviously, Judge. Yeah.
Okay, you
pure
got-
hitters. Judge. But Ohtani does steal all the bases.
Judge
I'll go
is
Judge.
going to hit 60 home runs, right?
Okay.
Maybe. Ohtani's going to hit 50 home
Yeah,
runs.
I think Judge is just a little
Ohtani's
bit better of a hitter. And again, if I get the pitching too, obviously I'm taking Ohtani.
No pitching, just hitting.
Yeah, a Judge.
Judge Ohtani, like Judge Ohtani? Okay, how about this? Francisco Lindor
I heard he's
is having a great year. Or Bobby Witt.
Kevin didn't keep him. Kevin's team was loaded. Bobby Witt, but
Lindor's having a good year.
Yeah, I don't know enough. I don't watch enough of those two. Lindor's played in the World Series.
That's true.
Not that matters.
Not that anybody cares.
I'll take Bobby Witt. I guess
Yeah.
he's just younger. I don't know.
Okay. And then an update on Paul Skeens. How's he doing for you?
Good. He's been all right. I mean, he's actually, you know what? I can't say good. He's not been as great as he was when he first came up. But again, season's August, September, whatever. He'll be fine.
Okay, Jackson Morrell or Paul Skeens?
I don't even know who Jackson Morrell is. I know I look like an idiot, but yeah.
Plays the outfield for San Diego.
Who's the other rookie?
Paul Skeens.
Oh,
Rookie of the year.
yeah. Not. I'll go Skeens.
Okay.
What? No. Jackson. Honestly, I've not paid enough attention this year to baseball
That's 'cause
the
that's
Red
Kevin's
Sox have not
boy.
interested me that
That's
much. I
Kevin's
paid attention to
big.
my team. I know he mentioned Jackson Morrell. I don't even know who that is.
Okay.
I don't, and
Yeah,
that
talk-
makes me look like an idiot. I understand that, but I don't know who that is.
He likes all the guys named Jackson, I guess. I don't know. So he goes. He rolls. Final thing on my list. I'm going to give you 5 minutes of good Liverpool talk.
Oh, I don't.
here.
No, I really don't want to talk about this. I can't. It was depressing. It's just depressing. It really is. That's the only word I can have for it. It's like because all my sports teams win. They do. Even the Celtics, it's not been that much of a struggle.
Yeah,
we've had bad losses, but it's not been that much of a struggle.
Liverpool
Alcaraz wins all these times, and it's like a Scheffler wins all these times. The Red Sox have won so much. The teams I root for, they win. They do. It's so depressing what's going on with Manchester United, and I know it's going to get better. It is. I'm very convinced it will get better, and 1-2 years, but we're on the right track now to actually get better. But my God, when Liverpool comes into your house, and for those of you that don't follow soccer, that's just like the Red Sox playing the Yankees, and they just embarrass you, and then they walk all over your field after, and Salah's got his shoes off, and he's doing his interviews, and it's so hard to talk about. It makes me so mad what they do to playing that we've lost like 7-0, 5-0, 4-0, 3-0. It is humiliating. It is humiliating.
Did you just say we've lost? Have you been on the field with
Oh my
that?
God, yeah, okay. Shut up with that stupid stuff. We. You know who was when we stormed the field, when the thing happened, all the players were on the field with them. We had to cancel the game. That was against Liverpool.
Yeah, good job.
It probably did me a favor.
So
I can't even speak about it. It's so bad.
So for podcast 48, Jack and I are going to actually go to Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And see a game. Hopefully, it'll be Everton after Thanksgiving.
Everton's horrible.
Are they horrible?
Horrible.
So you're going to tell me we're actually going to see a good game?
Well, I mean, if we lose, it'll be like one of the biggest. I read something. I don't know if this is true. In our last 20 league games, we won 5.
That's terrible.
That's insanity.
And you still want the coach to be the coach?
And then I'm wearing thin.
I think
I'm wearing thing. What happened with this other Dutch guy, Liverpool? I get they got some world class players, but what happened with I can't have that happen. I can't get embarrassed. I cannot continue to get embarrassed by them. I can't.
Okay, good. So that's our Man U.
I don't care about any other team. I don't care if City beats us 5-0. I get a good next day. When Liverpool embarrasses us, that 7-0. I didn't sleep the next night. It takes stuff out of you.
Okay.
That's how I judge my manager. Are we getting embarrassed by Liverpool or not? And we are.
You did.
So.
All right, so that's Liverpool and Premier League talk.
We kind of did them
old
in
talk.
last year.
So, anything else as we run out the week? Anything else stick out to you in the week in sports, or anything we need to be looking forward to other than your picks of Nebraska?
My brain was just clouded with that Liverpool thing. I can't even think about sports right now.
His brain was clouded with the Liverpool. That's awesome. So, listen, episode 48 coming to a close.
Go Nebraska.
Jack likes Nebraska. Go Temple. Go Temple. We got
to go over in that game too. So Chris is wrong.
The other thing is we got Wildcat football starting up next week. Hopefully they'll have a little bit of a good year. A lot of young players. Well, they play Chelmsford Friday in the exhibition game, and then they start with North Reading when we're at that wedding. So I'm gonna miss. I won't do the call for the first game, and Chris Neville, my partner, won't be there for the first 2 games. But we'll be covering those games. We'll be live on WCTV. Hopefully, a very young team. One of the kids, I had some freshman in my class today, asked me if I was going to mention him on the podcast. I don't even remember what his name was.
How do you know? How did these freshmen know of you, going into the school?
Well, they watched our podcast from last week because it was a public speaking class, and the kid said, I said, how many of us can get up here and speak for 25 minutes? And he goes, I don't know. What about you? I said, put my podcast on and watch.
I know you're a good public speaker, but this is not public speaking.
I know that, but I got 2 kids to watch the podcast. So
that's fine. That's fine, but this isn't public speaking.
Our audience went from 14 to 16.
Ooh.
Awesome. Kevin, you got to bring some more audience for you. All right, that'll wrap up episode 48, for It All Boils Down to This. He's Jack Boyle. Anything?
Nick Sirianni's a horrible public speaker.
Okay, good. He's Jack Boyle. I'm Jim Boyle for All Boils Down to This. We'll see you on down the road. Thanks for listening to this episode of It All Boils Down to This, recorded at WCTV studios in our hometown of Wilmington, Massachusetts. We're always open to any ideas, critiques, topics, and guests. So if anyone out there in podcast world needs to get a hold of us, we can be reached via email at jboyle22@comcast.net. Along with Jack Boyle, I'm Jim Boyle. Make sure to tune in to the next edition of It All Boils Down to This.